Hi everyone, Father Rozman here at St. Joseph's, and we are really looking forward to having you join us for Mass this weekend if you are able. It's great that we're able to reopen the church on the Feast of Pentecost. And I want to remind you that our Masses are Saturday evening at 4, and then Sunday at 7:30, 10, and 12:30. I do want to remind you that Bishop Gaynor continues to offer the dispensation for the obligation to attend. So if you do not feel that it is yet safe for you or your family to be here, please take advantage of that dispensation and continue to join us as we will be live streaming every Mass that is taking place here in the church. And then we will also have the Saturday evening 6 p.m. live stream from Brindle Hall. The church will not be open for that, but we will live stream that at 6 o'clock. That will be interpreted for our deaf community. When you come, I do want to emphasize the fact that everyone needs to wear a mask. This is very, very important. Even the celebrant, as we are coming into the church to begin, we will have our masks on. We will have our mask on whenever we do not need it for up here. So please make sure that you bring a mask and that you do wear it. There are a few exceptions. Children who are 2 years old or under, they are not required to wear a mask. Or if someone has a disability, the American Disabilities Act allows for those living with a disability not to be required to wear a mask. So there might be a few people that you will see, but if you are able to put your mask on, if you are able to keep it on for the common good, for everyone's health, we will emphasize the need to bring that mask and to wear it. Also, we need to let you know that while the church is reopening, we do have limited seating. We're able to have up to 1/3 capacity, and as you will see when you come in, we had to rope off some pews. We have to follow social distancing. So if when those measures are being put into place, if we have a lot of people and if we're at capacity, we will not be allowed to have you come into the church or even stand in the narthex. But what you'll be asked to do is to go to your car, and this is a special reason why we are live streaming, that if you are able to pull up the Mass from your car, please follow us that way. And then after Mass, after everyone inside has received Holy Communion, Father and I will be then coming to the portico, and we will be giving Holy Communion. And even if you are not able to pull up the Mass from your car, if you remain, we'll be happy to offer that wonderful gift to you when we come outside for Holy Communion. I also want to ask that those who have young children, please make sure that they are able to worship, but we cannot open up the infant chapel. We cannot have the narthex available, as some have come to really appreciate that. We have to have people in their pew. Families are allowed to sit together, but your children will have to remain with you. So again, please discern whether or not, if you do come as a family, that your children will be able to experience worship in the church with you as a family. Certainly everyone is welcome, and again, we hope that everyone is making the decision for the common good and for the health and safety, not only of you and for Father and myself, but everyone else who will be here. Again, we are really, really looking forward to having you come, and there will be other parts of the Mass that we're explaining. So please stay tuned, and hopefully we hope that you find that this will be helpful to you.
Hey, St. Joe's, as Father mentioned, when you come in, you have your mask. You're also going to pick up the bulletin that'll have the music inside for Mass and the responses. You'll put your collection in the collection basket. You'll sanitize, all the while paying attention to the markings on the floor to stay 6 feet apart from each other. And then an usher will meet us and take us to our seat. And then that's not normal. We're used to sitting where we want to sit in the church. But because we have to space everyone apart from each other, and we want to get as many people as possible into the church, we're all going to have to follow instructions as to where to sit.
Okay, everyone, it's me again, and I have my mask on. We're going to maintain having the wearing of masks. But for the purpose of this video, how about if I take it off for now? Again, as Father said, you're going to come in, you're going to see that we have the tape down every aisle. And as you come in, you will wait until an usher is here to show you to a seat. As you come in, you'll notice that our holy water fonts are empty. So we ask you not to reach into there. So if you are coming with the usher, again, make sure that you maintain the 6 feet distance. And as you will see, we have pews that are roped off. Again, the requirements from the state and the diocese, and you'll just be filling in 6 feet apart in the pew, and we'll get as many people in the pew as we are able. If you come as a family, we are allowed to have your family sit together. So however many that your family has, we'll be able to sit them in the pew.
And as Father mentioned, you're going to be seated in the pews 6 feet apart. Groups will be 6 feet apart. And we're going to ask you to stay in your seats unless it's emergency. The bathroom can only be used in an emergency, and so forth. The public areas of our church will not be open for congregating. So once you're there and once you're seated, the Mass will begin. The priest will come down the middle aisle as normal, but then there's going to be a few changes. First, we won't have altar servers or extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion. And the cantor, who normally comes down for the responsorial psalm, will stay in the choir loft and sing from there. Also, there will be, as we have done throughout our live stream masses, there will be no sign of peace. And also, at communion time, where we're normally used to receiving communion, the priest will receive himself, and communion will wait for the rest of the congregation until Mass has ended.
Now we're at the end of Mass, and we are going to close Mass and ask you to remain in your places, because this is now when you have the opportunity to receive Holy Communion. What we're going to do is give communion to those who are able to come forward. We'll distribute there first. I am in this station here. I will sanitize my hands. I will also have my mask on. And when you come forward, make sure that you have your mask on as well. The ushers will be starting from the outer sections and then asking you to line up 6 feet apart from each other. As you come to the front, you will have an opportunity, which we ask you to sanitize your hands as you're waiting to go to communion. And then you'll see here a basket. We are so grateful for all of the financial support that you have been giving us, and we still need that. So just as a reminder, if you didn't have an opportunity to place your envelope, if you still use the envelope, in a basket that is in the narthex of the church, just place it in there. Otherwise, sign up for online. It's the easiest thing for us to do. And We Share is what we use, and our finance manager can assist you with that if you give Dave a call. Okay, so you're waiting in line here for Holy Communion. You'll just keep moving forward to the next gray piece of tape. And as I am standing here, you can certainly remove your mask. I will say the body of Christ. Of course, you make your bow. You say amen. If you're receiving in the hand, of course, receive. If you are receiving on the tongue, you're certainly able to do that. We are discouraging that, but if that's your manner, your preferred manner, we definitely will be respecting that. As you come forward, and if we inadvertently touch your hand or your tongue, what we will be doing is setting down the ciborium. We will sanitize our hands, and then we will continue with Holy Communion. These things might happen, so that's why we're prepared. Okay, once you receive Holy Communion, and this is the reason why we ask you to bring your bulletin with you, we are providing a prayer of thanksgiving after communion in the bulletin. So once you receive, if you would then depart from the church immediately. And we're asking you to do that because we need to continue to maintain social distancing. And as we are able to get the sections out, then we can start the sanitization of the church after Mass as soon as we are able. So if you're here as a family, maybe you can just wait for each other outside the church. And if you would go quietly back to your car, or if you want to start the prayer of thanksgiving as you're making your way to the car, and definitely once you are inside the car, to make your prayer of thanksgiving. Once we are finished with Holy Communion here, if you are not able, if you're immobile in any way, we will then come to you to give you communion. And then, for those who are not in the church but listening from their car, Father and I will then be in the portico, and we will ask you to drive your car to the front portico, and then if you would depart from your car and receive from us.
We know it may sound like a lot of changes, but there really, when you will be here, there will be smaller changes that will help us to be able to celebrate Mass together as safe as we can. Now, you'll see some other changes in the back of church as well. The infant chapel, which is normally where you may come with your children, and we always encourage you to be here. Unfortunately, it's locked, and they didn't give me a key.
Forgive me.
Because we don't want people close together with children. Also, we will not be able to have people in the hallways to be here with their kids either. As you can see as well, our kiosks, all of the kiosks with brochures and those awesome pamphlets, we are not able to have them available either. We don't want people touching them as well. As you see, we've removed the statues as well from our church on the outside. They are a very popular point of people's devotion, and some people touch them and kiss them. And we don't want them to be a point of congregating or also a spreading of a disease as well. We weren't able to take the crucifix down on the other side, but please, we ask that no one go over there and try to touch or to kiss the crucifix, which we know is a devotion of many of you at this time. To be honest, a lot of the other churches in Mechanicsburg, our Protestant brothers and sisters, they're not returning to worship. We are. We have to kind of lead the way to show how to do this properly, how to do it safely. And if we do that, we could show them that, yeah, it's fine to come back and to do this as a group. We have to do so safely, because this is a house of worship, but it's also a communal house where we are together as a family. We don't want to hurt each other in any way. So please, if you are not able to come, or if you feel like this might not be right for our family right now, that's perfectly fine. Please feel free to stay at home and to worship with us online, and then to come back when we can all come back when you feel it is ready.
Thank you so much for your cooperation. We are, again, looking forward to being able to worship together here in our wonderful church. And I am really grateful for the entire staff that is helping us to not only come up with these procedures, but also to put them into effect. If you would like to assist with the sanitization of the church afterwards, our Knights of Columbus are coordinating that effort. And if you receive the constant contact email or the bulletin, we have the contact information for Warren Stevens, who is going to be coordinating that group. And again, I thank you for your cooperation. We're starting by opening on weekends. We're going to just see what our routine is in order to sanitize before we make a decision about opening for daily Mass. We're going to continue to live stream that from Brindle Hall Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock. I remind you that we have drive-through confessions on Saturdays from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. We look forward to worshiping as a family, but we do want you to make a prudent decision about whether or not you should be here. Please give that a lot of prayer and reflective thought. And if you come, we look forward to seeing you. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you hopefully soon. God bless.